I'm Fred Wilkinson, Chief Editor of the National Provisioner. Today I am speaking with Jeff Maguire of Clearly Clean, a supplier of uh, environmentally friendly packaging. Jeff, thanks for taking time to speak with me today. To get things started, could you tell us a little bit about Clearly Clean and the line of packaging that it offers for meat products?
Sure. We offer a line of sustainable packaging made from the same material as water bottles. Um, Probably about 5 years ago, my partner, Mill Wallace, invented a process whereby we could roll an edge of a PET tray. Previously, the only thing that had been rolled was a circle or a cup. Um, And so we pioneered the industry, and what our focus is on is giving retailers and processors an alternative to styrofoam trays. So our tray is made of PET, which again is what water bottles are made out of. We roll our edge so that the processors don't cut their film, and we give an alternative to the retailers and to consumers to have a sustainable package.
Can you speak a little bit about the sustainability and environmental advantages that Clearly Clean's packaging offers compared to other forms of packaging for meat and poultry products?
Sure. In the United States, we're going through a transformation as far as recycling, and in my humble opinion, what's going to occur is you're going to find there's going to be a consolidation on types of materials that can be used for packaging and for other processes, so that we in the United States can do a better job recycling and reusing all of our materials. Um, Again, we focus on PET, which is the same as water bottles. So what it does for us is it gives us a material that will be recycled in a broader way as we continue to grow and as the recycling system within the United States continues to improve. So right now you'll find millennials and a lot of the younger generation want to recycle everything. Or an old guy like me, I want to recycle everything. Um, our trays give that option to you. Our trays are collectible at curbside in most municipalities. You can sit there and work through that. And our goal in our company is not just to make a recyclable product, but to actually get that product back. So we're working toward a way to collect as much of our product as possible, because we know that it can be reused and it can be put back into another tray or into another product. So um, we've selected a material that we believe will be one of the materials that the United States sits there and has to rely upon. And PET is the most recycled material, plastic material right now, and it will continue to only increase in its percentage of recyclability.
So I see that recently San Diego has banned styrofoam, basically, which would include things like the common tray packs that are used for ground beef and other meat products. And that follows similar moves that happened in San Francisco and some other cities around California. How are regulatory changes like that affecting demand for Clearly Clean's style of packaging?
Well, they're absolutely positively impacting the demand for our product. What we find is regulation is just one aspect of what goes on. Uh, in San Diego, what they did was they sat there and they banned the styrofoam trays. They had banned styrofoam in takeout containers and other processes, and so they're pushing that ban a little further. Um, we can fill that need and move that through and be able to provide packaging for those processors that sell within that marketplace. Um, it is an issue that I can't tell you negatively impacts our business. I mean, we know it positively impacts our business when regulation comes in, But we also look at it that it's the right thing to do. And what's happening is a lot of retailers are making commitments to sit there and become more sustainable. And as those retailers make those commitments, the processors, who are your readers, have to find an alternative to sit there and be able to support their customers and these large retailers. And our trays are 100% recyclable. They are basically a plug and play change from styrofoam into PET. It gives them an easy alternative to be able to sit there and meet the needs of the retailers and the municipalities such as San Diego County as they start to ban different materials. So we sit there and from a Clearly Clean perspective, we're just here to support the people and the customers and your readers to sit there and provide them an alternative. We have the capacity, we have the ability to sit there and produce, and we meet the needs of the municipal government or the county government in San Diego and what they're trying to accomplish out there.
So for meat processors that are considering changing their packaging to a more sustainable, environmentally friendly packaging option, what considerations should they keep in mind as they kind of go through that process of switching over their packaging styles?
Well, the one issue that most of the processors will have to sit there and take into account is that their eyes. They scan their trays, their current trays, going through. I'm having a little. Their sensors that they sit there and run on their machinery need a certain polarized eye to see our clear tray. That is really the only change to their current equipment that they would need to. It's a $50 to $100 component to a machine. That's really the only issue that they sit there and need to deal with, to change, to move to clear. What I would tell all of your processors is they need to find a sustainable option that will work through their process. It needs to sit there and have structure. It needs to be able to get through their overwrap equipment in an appropriate manner. So the only issue they need to change is really their sensors and make sure that they can see our trays. And then they need to sit there and walk through the process, because it is a significant change. We can't sit there and tell you that someone moving from a packaging material that they may have used for the last 40 years, there's a lot of fear and trepidation in moving and changing. But all these processors, they're really going to be pushed, whether they get pushed by a municipality or a county like San Diego or a retailer, they're going to be pushed. And as they look to an option, they need to look to what will work through their process, what will make sense to their retailer and make sense to the consumer. And we believe that for a lot of the processors out there, we are an option for them, especially anyone in any given wet environment. Poultry is our largest area right now because of the moisture that's in the product. And there's sustainable options that might be out there, like a compostable tray. They won't really handle a moist environment that well. So we have some advantages there. But we look at the sustainable drive as a huge option, an opportunity. I mean, in essence, you're going to look at an entire marketplace change over in the next 5 to 10 years from a packaging perspective. And, I'm just glad that we're trying to move to a sustainable option. So the processors need to look at what works best for them, what works best for their customers, the retailers, and what works best for the consumers. We believe we have an option that fits in for all three. It's just a question of when they're going to make the change.
And regarding like shelf life, product quality assurance, food safety, things like that, how does Clearly Clean's packaging compare against other forms of packaging in those areas?
We are we have two facilities. We have an A+ rating for both of our facilities from a food safety perspective. Um, the shelf life aspect of our product, we see no decrease in any shelf life testing that has ever been shared with us. We actually believe that we improve shelf life because um, styrofoam is an insulator where the cold that you're generating uh, from your displays at a retail level doesn't necessarily penetrate through the bottom of the tray. It penetrates through the top of the tray, but in our case, being that PET is not an insulator, the cold comes through all sides of the product. And we've always been a believer that our tray improves shelf life. Our customers, uh, we know it doesn't decrease their shelf life, but they won't give us that information on their testing because that would be a positive, and there might be some issues related to that from their end, what they're thinking. But um, we don't really we don't really see any shelf life issues or anything from assist, a quality perspective. There hasn't been anything that is our customers. I mean, we sell probably 500 million trays annually right now, and if we were having any problems with shelf life or anything like that, we would sure be. They would let us know.
Okay.
So,
And your packaging are meat and poultry or protein companies, are they a pretty big part of your customer base? Or
absolutely, we sell to a significant portion of the largest processors in the United States. We have products across the country. Most retailers will have a selection of ours. I mean, we're obviously stronger on the East Coast and the West Coast, where there's a little bit more of a drive for sustainability from a retail perspective and from a legislative perspective. Um, but you'll find our trays in most grocery stores in some level. You know, I always tell everybody there's a lot of room to grow because we may only be 1% of or 2% of the total protein trays that are out there within the market space. There's another 99% of trays to convert. But right now, we deal with poultry, sausage, corn, fish. Uh, we run the spectrum of proteins in different products, and we only expect that to grow.
and with your style of packaging, how does that affect like on package, whether it be company logos, messaging, barcodes, things like that?
Oh, nothing. I mean, our trays are overwrapped, so our processors who are using our trays are um, they're printing their film or they're wrapping the tray with unprinted film and then putting labels on it. So our trays don't really have any type of impact on the messaging for the customers. Well, what we found is a lot of our customers, if you're familiar with the blood bands that are on printed film, um, they have a print that goes around the edge to eliminate a view of moisture in a given tray. We found that a lot of our processors are eliminating a lot of the printing on the film because they're giving their customers more access to see their product. Um, what I like to tell people is that our tray kind of blends and fades away at retail. Um, if you buy a clear tray, you don't see the packaging, you see the food and you see the product. So I like to tell our processors that your food and your protein becomes the star of the whole process. It's not the tray. You don't see the tray because you'll sit there and you'll just see all of the product, and it makes a great display. Uh, People have processors have issues as far as they or retailers that they can only see their product in one color tray that has to be black or has to be white or has to be something. But I'll tell you, when people start to see their product in clear trays, they're sitting there and they're going, "Wow, that really looks good." So it really is an interesting. It's interesting as to what's occurred over the last 4 or 5 years, and we've really found that the clear trays have worked great. And the product is the star. It's not the packaging anymore. It's the product.
Well, Jeff, that's all the questions I had. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I mean, I just sit there and tell people it is a difficult change. There's when you sit there and you move from styrofoam to any other material, I don't care what you're choosing for a sustainable option. If you sit there and you move, it's everyone fears change, but we try to make it as easy as possible for people. We're giving you a recyclable tray, and we deliver. So we're looking forward to communication from as many of your readers as we possibly can get.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much.
All right, Fred, thank you very much. It was great talking to you.